Good morning, welcome to the video. It's Monday the 25th of November. So, bit of a weird week today because I don't really quite know where I am or what I'm doing. Monday, so today is going to be essentially the lawns I didn't do on Wednesday because I was having the windscreen done on the van. And then there's a chance I might not be able to work on Thursday and Friday because if you remember, one of my sons had chicken pox, and it seems as though that siblings come out 14 days later, which seems to be about now that the other one's definitely got it. Now in this scenario, my wife wouldn't go to work, so essentially the one son who goes to nursery Fridays, he unless his chickenpox have scabbed over, they won't allow him in. Now, normally, as I say, my wife would stay at home from work for situations like that, but this Thursday and Friday, she has to go to work. There's very few times where she just has to go. So that leaves me in a situation because we have nobody else who can help out. So that just leaves me in a situation where I'm just going to have to bite the bullet again, which isn't ideal, but with young children, unfortunately, sometimes these things happen. So what I'm going to try and do is make the most of the time I've got up until then. If he scabs over, I can take him in. Life's great. So what I've done is I went up to the container yesterday, picked up all the stuff I needed, because the problem with the container is it doesn't open till 7:30. And then by the time you've loaded up, sometimes there's someone in your way and stuff like that. It can be a good half an hour, 45 minutes before you've got all the stuff you need, just with the logistics of everyone picking stuff up in the morning and everyone sort of almost queuing to get in at 7:30, because it's, as a tradesman, it's really quite late, particularly when you've got a commute as well. Anyways, I'm at this property, which you'll remember in a lot of my videos, and I was thinking about this one because I can get here early. So it's 10 to 8 at the moment. I've just arrived. I'm going to probably start in about 10 minutes, just noise wise, because I'm going instantly straight for the blowers. You can see the lawn here. It's very leafy, and then the driveway in, it's all covered in leaves, etc, etc. So the plan was I can bring this one forwards because I don't have to query it with anyone. And the kind of the deal is I can come and go and do what I want, but when the owner comes to visit, they want it looking nice. Way here really shows you what it looks like. So I got an email yesterday from the house manager saying that the clients are coming tomorrow. So having thought, do you know what, I'll probably do that one on the Monday, it's actually turned out perfect, because it just means that it's done, it's off the list, and when they arrive tomorrow, I doubt they'll even go out in the garden, but at least their arrival and the driveway and stuff, the leaves are all cleared up. So that is essentially what I'm doing today, is 3 leaf cleanups. This one first, then my 2 sort of usual Wednesdays that I didn't get to do last week, and they are going to be bad, really bad, because it was 2 weeks Wednesday, because they're fortnightlies, plus it's now Monday, and we've had the cold weather, which would have brought more leaves down, and then we've had the really windy, stormy weather, which would have brought even more leaves down. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty heavy day today, but it is what it is. I always say that. But yeah, so we're just going to try and get as much done as we can at the start of the week, and then what will be at the end. If I can get some work done, then I can. If I can't, I'm in a great position because I've managed to front load most of the things. So right, I'm gonna get some boots on. It's gonna be too wet to mow, so I'm literally just gonna do the leaves. Also, I can't see for a second that the client is going to be going outside either, so as long as it sort of looks alright, I think we'll be fine. Okay, so 10 o'clock now. All the leaves have gone, the leaves which were on the lawn, if you can see through that hedge, probably not. Driveway all cleared up, nice, out onto the road. So yeah, pretty good. So let's go on to the next one, and it is gonna be terrible. Okay, so here we are. Here's the Look at that blue sky, so still some leaves to come down actually, to be fair, but yep, here we are. You remember this one from a while ago. So this is a fortnightly, but it's just a cut or a leaf clearance depending on the weather. It's quite wet in here, but we'll get all these leaves cleared out, and then the road as well. So it's really wet there, so as many as I can I'll put in there the client's bin, and then the rest will, so I basically go to that sort of hump there, and then to the speed bump there, and all of that sort of goes in. So yeah, we'll get this cleared up nice, and then into the back, and the back's an easy one. So everything I've got goes in everything that can go into the client's bin will go into the client's bin. The rest will just be bagged and dumped in the back garden, and the back garden's easy because just blow that into the woodland. Okay, so it's been pretty hard because the wind has decided to change its direction every 30 seconds, but essentially that is a big pile of leaves. So as I say, I'm going to put as much as I can in the bin, and then the rest is going to be bagged and dragged around the back, if this pile stays where it is, because the old wind's blowing. I love that blue sky, it looks amazing. So had to sort of work a little bit harder because I'm conscious that we're going to start losing the light. I was on that last property for 3 hours. That's a bit longer than what I wanted to be, but history says there'll be one visit in November which will take a lot longer than the others, and that was it. So I'm more than comfortable that that was the one, but there's also plenty of other times where you're done really efficiently. So it's a fixed price, so rough of the smooth, as I always say. But what it does mean is the sun is setting, so I've got to press on. I just thought I'd just show you this. If you remember, in the summer I seeded that bit there, and that was where the client wanted basically to use two, I appreciate that's peat-free multi-compost, but they had some topsoil bags. They had two, and they wanted that whole spread around, and I basically picked one bag up, chucked it long ways in there, and said, right, you're going to need I think it was 10 or 12 more bags just for that area. What you need to do is loose soil. Anyway, that's it. I'm just blowing these leaves up, but as you can see, we seeded this, and it came in very, very nicely. And it's I mean, you can kind of see a line, but that's only because there's no moss in that bit. But yeah, it's blended in really well. Nearly 4:15 now, so yeah, that's just done. It's not as dark as I thought it was going to be, and I am completely out of fuel, so I've timed it perfectly. Just had to finish up with the little handheld, just for a few little bits, but nothing major. Oh, that's weird. Focus. Okay, there we go. And up there as well. So this was 2.5 weeks worth of leaves that were down, but really, even this oak tree here, or these oak trees, all the leaves are down now. So yeah, this should be good. Tend to get quite a few twigs down, but yeah, this should all be fine now. As I say, give it a cut next week or in 2 weeks' time, and then that might be it. We shall see. Morning. So it's Tuesday today, and I am on a Wednesday lawn. Firstly, look at that perfect blue sky. So it was a good day yesterday, and it was a good day today. It seems that there might be rain tomorrow. It also seems as though what I thought might happen will happen, is that certainly Thursday I'm going to have to take off. There's a possibility I might be able to work Friday, so it is a case of just get as much work as I can do done today while it's like this, because of course if it's tomorrow it's really wet, that might mean that I physically can't do too much work, so we'll just have to see. It's just one of those things, self-employed and young children, it is what it is. However, a lot of the leaves, straight into the sun there, but you can see a lot of the leaves are down. There's a few hanging on, but most of them are down, and have been cleared away over the last couple of visits. So we're going to cut today. I've also edged. I haven't edged for a long. My theory is this is the last cut in April. This is the last cut in November. There'll be one more cut just before Christmas. Now, although it's a wonderful day today, we're not guaranteed that it will be a wonderful day on my next visit. So I am trying to get as much done as I can. So the point of the last cut is just to clear up any remaining leaves that are down, any leaves that have sort of blown in from wherever, and just tidy the lawn up, driveway, etc, etc. So we will just take it as we find it, but make hay while the sun shines, as they say, and the sun is shining, so we are going to do as much as we can to get these lawns looking good, because there is no guarantee of that final cut. It could be due to heavy rain, that could be due to heavy frost. I always see that final week as a bonus week, but there is a high chance it may not happen. It may just be a quick sort of once over with the blower just to tidy things up. Everything has happened like that. I have in the past, I've done 2 final week before Christmas videos. I shall try and post one now, and then post the other one straight after it up here or somewhere. Don't really know how it works. If not, I will put the links in the description. And then there's also one which I did 2 weeks out as well, and that week just went terribly wrong. So I might post that one nearer the time, when I talk about how I sort of organise the final 2 weeks as it is now. Anyways, need to make the most of the weather, so I shall crack on. Okay, there we go, back all striped up, and I'll put a picture in now of what the front looks like. So all good. On to the next. Actually no, I've just got to do a bit of clearing up with the blower, then on to the next. Okay, so just been to the second house, small little house, just a little edge and cut, a few leaves down, nothing too dramatic. So we're now on the Thursday. Now remember, I'm trying to be like 2 days ahead of myself. So what we're going to do today is this long stuff. Round here, you can see all the leaves are down now, so kind of it'd be a bit of a mulchy sort of job here. And the idea is just through pushing the leaves down, although most of them are down, is we can just sort of, once they're all mulched up, is sort of just get them over there a little bit more, because they kind of get tied up in the long grass here. So we'll get it all mulched down. Also, when I return in the new year, all the daffodils and all the mud on my nose, snowdrops, etc. This area here is full of them, so we're not going to be able to sort of cut this down. And what I don't want is the long sort of scraggly stuff competing with it or disguising it and stuff like that. I want, you know, them to be in all their glory. So if we cut it down now, it'll just be a bit tidier and a bit shorter come the springtime. It's been quite mild today. Sun's gone down now, and I don't know what time it is actually. It must be about 3:30, 4:45. Yeah, and it's pretty chilly now actually. The sun's gone down, but this is essentially it. So all cut down, loads of leaves mulched in there. So I basically cut with a Time Master, I'd say a quarter, sort of from there to there, and the same on the other side. Then that bit there just becomes the bit in the middle, and particularly down here. So this has all been sort of mulched and side discharged with leaves. So what I'll be able to do is with the billy goat blower is then just push everything into that corner, and it's just going to get it through that longer grass a hell of a lot easier. But that middle section, as I say, I guess they're sort of like badger setts and fox setts, etc, etc. So it's just you can't really take the Time Master over it, because it just drops down and it scalps, and it's not ideal. So you have to end up taking a strimmer over that bit. That's why I'm always a little bit wary of using something like a Grelo, because if you went down one of the holes, particularly on the fact that there's quite a steep slope in places, that potentially the whole thing could go, perhaps, I'm not sure, wouldn't want to risk it. It'd be different if you had sort of big tractor wheels and things like that, but yeah, anyways. Right, so tomorrow I think I've got a couple of quotes. Gonna try and get as much work as I can get done, but it looks like it's going to be wet, which isn't ideal. Morning, it's a very wet Wednesday and we have Storm Comrade, I think, coming through. So what I'm doing today is going to be quoting on a very wet lawn for some kind of aeration. It's a lot wetter than what I thought it was. There's a lot of building work going on over there, so obviously there's a lot of movement going through and traffic, so that's obviously part of it. But yeah, right, well I think I'm going to measure up and wait for my contacts to turn up. Okay, so we're on to second quote of the day. This is initially a one-off cut. New tenants of this property, they sort of inherited a bit of a stinging nettly wild lawn, so they want it cut back, and then I'm just going to give them a price for fortnightly mowing as well, once it's all down and controlled, and then we'll see. But obviously there are only tenants here, so they don't want to spend too much money on the lawn. But yeah, it's a case really of just cut it down, get the leaves off. It's not too long in that height, so it's not too bad. And obviously it's a bit out the front as well. Morning of quoting, and then just popped home quickly, and now we're on to a Thursday lawn. So I'll add a photo now of what it looked like when I turned up, and I'll show you it. I'm halfway through cutting it now, so I've cleared the leaves, and there you go. So it's not quite half cut, but I've done the front already. So yeah, there we go. Once I've cut the lawn, and obviously all the leaves are collected before, I think actually apart from next door, the majority of the leaves are down. So and even then there's only a few. So yeah, we will. I'm going to spray the lawn for just a light iron treatment, just to sort of tackle any moss that's coming and colour the lawn. Don't want to go too heavy with the iron, because if you go heavy with the iron, the moss then goes black, and I've got no. Obviously I'm not going to be scarifying or doing anything until March, April time, so there's no point in just sitting there with black lawn. So I just want like a half rate of iron, just to sort of start knocking it back, controlling it. I think is the correct term you should use. And then closer sort of in February time, that's when I'll go for a heavier dosage. So yeah, so that's where we're at. Yeah, I'll show you it once it's finished, and I'll show you it once the iron's been put down. Okay, so there we go. It's just been sprayed, so although the iron is quick to react, it's not that quick. So yeah, that should just darken it up. Just the light sort of bits of moss, just darken them up a little bit, but nothing too dramatic. As I said, I don't want it going black. I just want those light bits to sort of blend in a little bit. Anyways, there we go. Right. Okay, so I think time-wise, there's no time to do anything else today. Interestingly, I've had probably in the last week or so, let's say half a dozen people wanting essentially like a final cut of the year. God knows what they've been doing for the rest of the year. So I basically sent a message out to all of them saying, yeah, it's definitely something I can do. However, it's not going to be this week. Although I'd say actually half of them were messaging me saying they wanted a final cut, but they wanted a final cut like that week. And I'm like, you can't phone up on a Wednesday and say you want your lawn cut on Friday, especially a one-off when you know it's going to be loads of leaves, really, really long, etc. And I explained to them that Fridays are for my weekly clients. So actually it just doesn't work on a Friday. We even if we weren't busy, we still wouldn't be in on a Friday. So I explained to all of them that I can do the work, but you know, I probably won't be able to come around till next week to quote, and then I probably won't be able to do the work till the following week perhaps. And I didn't hear back from any of them, so I'm like, fine. Then yesterday, in fact one of them, maybe the first one, I said to her, look, you know, we're really busy, probably not going to be able to do anything till the end of November. I've no idea when I sent this message, but I kind of know that even in the summer that's kind of, because it's a repeat business, repeat service, I know that's kind of the case. So so anyway, I got a message yesterday just saying, look, we're at the end of November, any chance of a cut? I was just like, who the hell's this? So quickly looked through emails, like, yep, got your details. So that was the one I went into quote today. And potentially there's fortnightly mowing there as well. So anyway, I've explained I'm going to give her two prices. One for the one-off initial leaves, hack it down, probably trim it down, cut it, etc, etc, and then I'll give her another price for what fortnightly mowing would look like. It is pretty rough, there's lots of tree roots, little stumps and stuff like that, so it's never going to be ideal. And then I've just got another email from one of the people I messaged, apologising that she hadn't been back in contact. Apparently my email had gone into her junk file, so that's why she hadn't been in touch, but she was wondering if she still get that quote. So as it turns out, so tomorrow I'm not working because I've got my youngest off, who's having a hell of a time with the chicken pox. Essentially what it's meant is because he's just not been able to sleep, we've not been able to sleep, so I think I've had probably 2 hours sleep in the last 3 days. So yeah, I'm feeling it, but hopefully today, like last night was the worst night, so hopefully he's sort of peaked and it's now calming down, hopefully. So I might just go and do the quote tomorrow with him. He can just sit in the van perhaps. Otherwise it's on till next week, and next week is when I'd probably want to do it. So yes, anyways, right, don't know if I will vlog anymore this week, but if not, see you next week. Okay, so it's Thursday, so I've got my son in the van, which he isn't particularly happy about, but this is just on a quote now. So here's another one. Basically the client's broke her leg playing football, so she can't cut the grass. So it's not crazy out of control, but it's, you know, it certainly needs a trimming and a mowing and things. So yeah, I'm just going to measure up just for my own records, and then yeah, go home and then get a quote over to her.